Hello, and welcome to Excel for Mac 2011, Multi-Sheet Data Consolidation. Today we're going to be creating and using a simple macro. In order to create macros, you need to have the Developer tab installed on your ribbon. If you do not have the Developer tab installed on your ribbon, a simple Google search will help you out there. So you have two segments of a company. Both of these segments have similar setups, and you want to combine data from similar sheets onto one sheet if you want to make a pivot table or just have one sheet of data. In our example today, we have two segments of a company. We have the strawberry segment and we also have the banana segment. Each of these have identical columns. We're going to add a new tab. It's going to be where we combine the data. Name of the tab, Combine Data. Move that to the front. Now we're going to start looking at making our macro. Click on the Developer tab and we're going to click Record. A step was missed that we're going to get to when we edit the macro later. Macro names can't have spaces, so we're going to call it Combining Data. And if we want to have a keyboard shortcut, we're going to add a Q there and have a keyboard shortcut later. At this point, the macro is recording everything that we do. So we're going to select all the data in banana expenses. We're going to copy that data. Now we're going to go over to the Combined Data sheet. In cell A1, we'll paste everything from banana expenses. Just a Control V. And I like to, when I'm building macros, click around and have it record different cells I select. That way I know what spaces to go to edit. Now we'll go to strawberry expenses. Do not highlight cell A1, but go to the next row because we already have a column description on combined data. Highlight all the rest of it, copy it, and we're going to bring it back to combined data and paste it starting in cell A28. And we're going to be able to go back and edit this macro later and tell it to always look for the very last row because sometimes you're going to add more data. Paste that in. We're going to stop the recording. And now it's time to go in and edit our macro. So we click on Macro right there in the ribbon and you choose the Combining Data macro. I already made another one, that's why it's on the list, and you click Edit. Now we're into the edit mode, and I thankfully made a macro prior to this that is the right way to do it, so now I can copy and paste data. I see here that we forgot to tell it which sheet to look for first, which is the banana expenses sheet when we originally made the macro. So I'm going to copy that we want to select the banana expenses sheet. We're just going to go right down inside the macro and paste that information. Normally this would be recorded if you did that after clicking Record Macro. Since we didn't, we'll do it now. I'm also adding additional information to the sheet to future-proof this up to 3,400 rows. We also want to select that range A28 and replace it with this active cell offset 10.select. That's going to change it so that after the selection end XL down select goes down to the very last cell, it then goes one cell lower to find the next blank and pastes the data from strawberry expenses. Now, as we discussed, what happens when additional data is added? How does this macro allow you to paste that additional data? Well, let's add another row. To save time, I'm just going to magically make it appear. Just going to copy some stuff, move some information down, and now we have an additional line of data. Now, let's go back to combined data and we're going to make a quick macro button that's going to allow us to refresh data fast. Just click the button on the Developer tab, drag and create a rectangle. Choose the macro we want to run. That's going to be our combining data macro, and hit OK. It's just going to say button 1. You're going to double click in there and create whatever you want it to say. In this case, I'm just going to say click here to refresh data. Click off of it, and now that button's active. You just click on that button once and it'll run the macro automatically. And as you can see, our new line of data has been added and we did not lose any data